obviously the two guys who were probably the most talked about were Patrick Williams and Modest Buzelis. Watching their games up close, what did you see differently that those guys were doing? Because it felt like a different Patrick Williams, and it felt like a Modest who was just getting a chance.
Well, we heard this from Patrick a lot last year, which was that, like, you know, and paraphrasing what he would say, like, this is not a criticism of Zach and Vooch and DeMar, but like when you're playing alongside those guys, you have to play alongside them. You have to fit next to them. And that's what he kind of said today with regards to Zach and Vooch, and kind of alluding to the idea that there was more opportunity for him to be kind of the guy on offense. And I think he really felt like he needed to step up into that role. And I think he did. I mean, he played one of his better games this year. 11 points on 12 shots, nothing crazy, but only 1 of 5 on threes. You figure he'll make 40% of those. Maybe it's another 3 points throughout the game, but 8 rebounds, 3 assists. And I just felt like he was taking advantage of the opportunities that he had. He was more of a central point in the offense, which I think he feels more comfortable doing, and doing so coming off the bench. So Billy kind of talked about wanting to match minutes with Aaron Gordon, who is on a minutes restriction, and playing off of the Nuggets bench, and having that physicality, because they really like to take advantage of smaller bench units and let him post up. That was not really possible with Patrick out there. And I think it just all kind of blend together for him, where the last few weeks have been really like some of the worst we've seen from Patrick. Not to say that this was his best game ever, but I just felt like he was doing more stuff that he needed to be doing this whole time. And I thought it was a really solid performance for him. So he felt good about it. Obviously, it's only one game, and he knows it's been a rough stretch here. But I think maybe the bench is kind of the right place for him for now, where he'll still get minutes, but he can be a little bit more in command of that second unit. He was saying there's not really like an all-star out there with them. So there's no Vooch, there's no Zach. Somebody has to step into that primary role. And, Patrick has not really like proven that he can do that yet, but he certainly feels like he is more comfortable in that role. And so the Bulls should continue on with that and just see what that looks like.
We all silly like the mayor.